there is more to York than minsters, tea, ghosts and Shed 7. Yep, that's what they're up to now. But arriving in the city centre for the first time, you'd be hard-pressed to think otherwise. That's where Great Little Place comes in. We've asked you to chip in with your insider knowledge of York and give us a fast track past the tourist traps and straight to the hangouts of the Viking natives. Thanks to you, we're out to explore York's hidden gems. Well, we're going to try anyway. Starting with the most elusive Baps in town. I think we can be forgiven for walking past this bakery about 5 times.
I make fresh bread, I make it during the night, start work at midnight, open the shop up between 9 and half 9. If someone gets here during their lunch hour between 1 and 2, we've more than likely sold out and gone home. I don't put opening hours up on the door. A lot of people get confused, they come here and they think we've closed down. We have lots of students, but we do have lots of old age pensioners that love the wholemeal bread. It's the stuff they used to get when they were children and they can't get that bread now. I'm self-taught with bread. We started off as an Italian delicatessen in 1992 and I had some Italian friends that used to come here and one of them showed me one how to make pizza. And he left some dough in it. So I had this dough, sort of stuck it in the oven. Out popped this quite nice loaf of bread. It took a long time to get right, and over 20 years we're now known as the Italian bakery in York, as the bread shop.
If you're too late, don't worry, because the bakery delivers to a few select shops in York, including the next one on our list. So we follow the breadcrumbs and some handy directions to our next destination.
I'm Sue Hardy and this is the Hairy Fig. I used to do a lot of travelling. I used to work in travel. Well, a lot of the products I sell here was basically sourced because I couldn't find the sort of things I was looking for. Although I sell quite a lot of Yorkshire products, I don't sell as much as most people would sell because I only want to sell what I think is the real best of and things that are hardly ever seen in a supermarket. You know, really good products from small producers. That's really important, just from small producers who care about it. We've got over 40 on tap balsamics, true balsamic, from Modena in Italy, up to 100-year aged, and it's loose so people can bring their own bottles and everything else.
Among Sue's loyal, appreciative customers are this family, who say they eat here all the time. They told us it's the service. Just a short walk away, Sue's husband is also selling something on tap. But if you bring a bottle here, you'll be thrown out.
I'm Jim Hardy, landlord of the Bluebell. Well, it's been a pub since 1798. It's been like this, as you see now, it's been in with all the panelling. It's been like that since 1903. It's originally the wooden interior, hasn't been touched since then. So it's just a little cask ale pub. She just said, how big is it? The pub, yes, it is the smallest pub in York. Maximum capacity is 60 people, but it usually reaches that every Friday and Saturday.
Bigger than the entire pub is the wine cellar at this next stop. Slightly higher prices than the Bluebell as well. 300 quid for a bottle of champagne.
Bargain.
Show me the sun in your bright eyes.
I'm David Barker and I've been working at Middlehalf Hall for 29 years nearly. I'm the head gardener, looking after all the gardens and grounds in the hotel. We do get quite a wide variety of guests now. We are National Trust members now, so we're getting a lot more people who are National Trust members, race goers on the race days. Princess Anne was here a while back, a couple of weeks ago. Prince Andrew has been a couple of times now. A lot of the guests say it's just like visiting my Aunt Emily or Uncle Tom or whatever. It's just, you can come here, stay here, and it's just like staying with relatives. You know, okay, it's an 18th century house, but the staff are all friendly, but they're not too friendly. They stand back and wait to be called, or keep an eye on and see if you need service or anything like that. The house was built in 1699, and previously to Historic House Hotels buying it, it was actually a posh discotheque, which was quite well attended, I understand. I only came there once. The inside was a real mess. The actual downstairs in what we call the grill room now is where they used to do all the dancing, and all the walls were actually completely black. The discotheque company had an order served on them by the council to sort the building out because it was a listed building. I think that's why they had to let it go in the end, because they couldn't afford to do it, and then the Historic House Hotels bought it and renovated it. They put the house back into period style, which is the 18th century, and the garden's the same.
I heard something about the kind of dancing that used to happen in the club.
Cut! Don't know anything about any pole dancing.
How do you feel sort of going around the gardens now? Because obviously you've worked on them for so long, so you've been here for nearly 29 years, and you've put it all back together again. What kind of feeling do you get now just going out and seeing it all?
It's a feeling of satisfaction and the pleasure of being able to work here for that length of time. I mean, when I first took the job on, I thought, well, 5 years and I'll be moving on, but 5 years turned to 10 and 10 to 20, and I'm still here now. It's such a good place to work, and the pleasure that I get from planting things and watching them grow, really, I suppose you could call them my babies. So it's been a great pleasure being here.
Yeah.
It's alright. I was waiting for you to burst into tears.
I'm getting close to it.
Having made a grown man cry earlier than usual, we're now in the mood to explore York's nightlife. We go to our room to lower its tone and get ready.
It's a good look. Do I look thick there?
Tonight's hotspot has won a Best Bar in York award and also has one of the oldest walls in York.
It's officially the oldest wall in York, in fact.
Well, excuse me.
Heralding a newborn floor, I stand, concrete bones shaking, restless synergy. Within my
I'm Jonathan. I work on the bar House of the Trembling Madness, named aptly after a beer called Delirium Tremors, which I don't know if you know, that's if you've had fair good skin form the night before, you've got the shakes in the morning. The Mad Tremors, I suppose that's where we get it from.
safe from the man, safe from the man.
It's a year old. When it started, obviously it was quite quiet starting, but now it's just getting busier and busier. You can tell even by the week.
To transcribe sentences.
It's a super old building, 1180 AD, I think the official date is for a lot of it, so all the trimmings and fittings that you see inside here, they're all genuine, they're all the real article. And yeah, just trying to do something a bit different really, not just a Belgian beer bar, but somewhere that does traditional food, traditional beers, and just, I suppose, a traditional setting. There's a wall on the adjacent side of the bar, which I believe is one of the oldest walls in York. I think it's officially the oldest wall in York, in fact. Why is this a great little place? I'd say just because it's so different. How many places have you been to that are like this?
True, only about 40% of pubs have a stuff lion.
And there's a big set of horns as well behind the bar. There used to be a butcher's shop on this street, and they were the horns outside the butcher's shop years and years ago.
Was it next door to Ye Olde Safari Park? We order wine and the wildlife meze and feel like real Vikings.
I have what can only be described as a tankard, and I'm about to eat a plate of meat, so that's...
Feeling pretty manly right now.
Yeah, right now I think I'm the man of the outfit, clearly.
Obviously we got some booze, but we did choose something classy.
Windsor Joy.
Stay away from ladies with vagina.
I may as well be on a park bench.
Feeling truly excellent this morning, there's nothing we'd rather do than walk all the way to your cafe recommendation, right at the end of the wall.
The coffee shop is owned by the Calvary Chapel Bible College, which is across the street, and it's run by the Bible College and the church, and we've had it for a couple years now, and it used to be just a barbican for back with the gate. It's one of the still only remaining gates and one of the still remaining barbicans that are active, and it's a nice bit of history to have around here. Well, we get a lot of university students. They're quite regular here all the time, but we also get a lot of passerbys who are visiting and trying to walk the wall, and then we run into our coffee shop. It's really nice because of the history, but it's also nice because of its location along the wall, and it's awesome to just have a small coffee shop where it's not packed, it's not a chain, it's an awesome, nice place.
Feeling livelier, it's time to walk back around the wall to York's newest and highest rated hotel, which isn't actually as intimidating as you'd think.
My name is Jackie Havercroft and I'm the revenue manager at the hotel. We opened on the 7th of May last year, 2010, aiming to become York's first 5-star hotel. We were the headquarters of the Great North Eastern Railways. So the building was predominantly offices. The best offices were on the ground floor and the first floor, but the whole building was basically the offices. We've actually got 7 different types of rooms in the hotel. There's 107 rooms altogether. We start with our classic rooms, and then we have executives, deluxe, which are our feature bedrooms, and then junior suites, full suites. And then our master suites and our penthouse suite actually come with butler service. But all the rooms in the hotel are beautiful. In the vaults of the hotel downstairs, we have a spa, and there's a 14-metre swimming pool, a sauna, steam room, jacuzzi, there's 6 spa treatment rooms, a beautiful relaxation area, and a fully air-conditioned gym. Every year York holds an open day for residents, so anyone who has a residence card in York is free to have entry into many of the attractions of York. So we expected maybe about 60 people to come over the 2 days that we were open, and we actually had over 1,000 people who came. A lot of them actually worked in the building when it was the headquarters of the North Eastern Railways, who used to have an office here, and they're very intrigued to see what we've done to it, and in particular what their office looks like. We also have the Grand Boardroom, which not many of them had ever been into before, so they all get to see that, and what formerly was the Chairman's office, which is now the Chairman's suite. We want that Yorkshire hospitality to very much come across, that people are welcome to come in. Yes, we're aiming to be York's first 5-star hotel, but we don't want to be that stuffy hotel that people aren't allowed to come into. I genuinely think this is a great little place because of its location within the city walls of York. You can see for yourself it's such a stunning building. It's been beautifully restored. It's just got good Yorkshire hospitality.
From Yorkshire hospitality to Eastern European hospitality.
My name is Greg, and we're just running here Eastern European restaurant. We've opened a restaurant 6 months ago, but before we had the Polish grocery shop here. So we just turned it slowly to the cafe and to the restaurant. When we opened, before we opened, we just had some imagination about the places, how we're gonna design everything, and we just done it. Well, I think it's something different. There's not many places like that in England. It's something new for them. For the lunchtime we got a lot of local people here and from the offices, and but for the evenings we got some tourists and all from around York, probably, even from Harrogate.
As we leave, we meet the stags and hens who are bafflingly drawn to York, and can only hope that they're not heading to our next stop.
We opened in November. So far the feedback we get from customers is excellent. They're pleased that we've opened here because it gives them another sort of style of eating. We're an independent restaurant, and I think a lot of people like that and like supporting independent restaurants.
What's the thing about tapas? How did you get into that? Because you don't sound Spanish.
Not Spanish. No Spanish connections particularly, although we do like going there on holiday. But it's just the style of eating, but it's just that kind of mixed meze tapas. Lots of variety type of thing that we like. big market. There's a lot of competition, but we're quite sort of passionate about what we do, and we think the food's good, and we've got it right. We've had 4 years sort of practicing, so we think we can do we do a good job. We do try and look after customers. That's certainly our aim, and we like to think that we exceed people's expectations when they come in. We like the fact that a lot of customers come in here and sort of know us and know the staff. I first became aware of Great Little Place when one of our customers, I found a recommendation on Great Little Place, and I've kind of referred back to it on a regular basis since, and recommended a couple of places as well. I think it's a really good resource.
Thank you very much, and so's your sangria. And as we head back to GLP HQ, we're reminded again just how much friendlier we are in the north.
You want me to get my dash out?
Definitely not.